Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Mrs. C with Life with me, Mrs. C. I'm coming to my YouTube family today to tell you, don't leave money on the table. And this is regarding Social Security now. What I'm talking about is the Social Security Fairness Act. This was signed into law January the 5th, 2025, for all of you that are unaware, okay? This act ends the windfall elimination provision, WEP, W-E-P. These provisions reduced or eliminated Social Security benefits of over 3.2 million people who received pensions based on their work that was not covered by Social Security because they did not pay Social Security taxes when they got paid. This law now increases Social Security benefits for certain types of workers, including some teachers, firefighters, police officers in many states, federal employees covered by the Civil Service Retirement System, and people whose work had been covered by a foreign Social Security system. You are now eligible to file your Social Security and receive that if you had worked before. Now, if you have not worked and you're receiving a pension, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the ones that have worked previous and after they had retired from any of those agencies in which I before mentioned. You are now eligible to receive your full Social Security, whatever you put in it, because at first they had cut back, meaning that they they subtracted some of your money that you receive because you receive a pension. Now you are eligible, and don't leave that money on the table. Everybody that is eligible that had a pension, they're in the process of working that out so that you're automatically going to be receiving that in due time. They're working it out so you're able to get that money. But those that don't know and they're sort of reluctant about filing their Social Security, because I was one, I'm going to wait till I'm 67 because they're not going to take my money from me. I worked, prior to joining the law enforcement. I worked after the law enforcement. And you mean to tell me that when I apply for Social Security, they're going to take some of that money because I get a pension? Nah. So I was going to wait. But now, because they signed that January the 5th, 2025, of your retirement age, you are eligible to receive any money that you have put into that Social Security Administration. Plus, you'll still be able to have your pension. So that is good news, y'all. And also, too, I want to tell you a little bit, another thing, too. If you are married, you're eligible to get spousal benefits if your spouse had made more than you. Now, your spouse have to also have filed in order for you to get anything, and you have to be at least 62 years old. And the other requirement, you have to have a child under 16 or a child with disabilities under 19. You can file it without being at least 62. But if you're 62 years old, your husband or wife have already filed as well, and they make more income or receiving more than you far as Social Security, you may be eligible for spousal benefits. And what it does, if they take half of whatever they get and you get that half, meaning if your spouse made, like, say they get $2,000 and all you're getting is $500 because of your work experience. What they do is they take that $2,000, they divide it in half, and that's $1,000. So they're going to make your now payment up to $1,000. So you'll get $500 more. Now, the caveat to this is that you have to be, in order to get that total 1,000, if you're 62, of course, they're going to be a percentage off. 63, 64, 65, 60, there's going to be a percentage off of that. So you're not going to get that total. They're going to subtract that because you're not at full retirement age. However, if you are at full retirement age of 67 for the baby boomers born in 1960 and above, you will be eligible for half of your spouse income. And if you have already filed Social Security and you're not of that age, and your spouse, whichever it is, your husband or your wife, if they're making more and they have also filed for Social Security, you're able to get part of their Social Security. And it does not affect their benefits. They're still going to get their benefits. This is something that you're eligible for. So don't leave money on the table when you can get it. Okay? So, and let me see what else I have here. And if you're married, you have to be married at least for 1 year in order to be eligible for that. And also, too, if you've been divorced at least 10 years, you had to have been married to that individual for at least 10 years if you're divorced. But in order to get this particular money, the spousal benefit, you have to be at least married for 1 year, and then you can claim on your spouse their Social Security as well. And again, it does not affect theirs. It does not mean that because you're getting some, they're going to get less. No, they're going to continue to get what they're getting. And also to each year, when you're getting your Social Security, of course, it's going to get you're going to have an increase each year on your Social Security, as well as when you get an increase, of course, that little bit is going to go to you as well. So, it's a win-win, but don't leave money on the table when you're eligible for it, especially you that are out there that are married. And also, like I stated before, concerning all of you that are former law enforcement, teachers, firefighters that were unaware that they are now entitled to money, their full Social Security, especially if you worked and paid taxes into the system. You're eligible for that full income, because at first you could not get it. They sort of they cut your Social Security way down because of the fact that you were getting a pension, which was totally unfair. But that is now ended, y'all. So jump on that while you can and while it's still available. Okay. So that's my little tidbit of don't leave money on the table. Y'all go get your money. Go get your money here. Okay. In the meantime, in between time, you be blessed. Don't put up with no stress. And don't you be the one that caused no mess. And all of this information, you can go to SSA.GOV and you can look it up and you can see what I am talking about. Okay? And if you don't go to SSA.GOV, you can go to the internet and you can find all this information out yourself. So you believe what Mrs. C is telling you. I'm not telling you, false information. It's actual factual. So look it up. But again, you be blessed. Don't leave no money on that cotton picking table. Not for somebody else to keep or the government to keep. No, you get your money. Go get your money. Okay? Like, share, and subscribe. And I will chat with you. Oops, let me get my clicker to cut this off, because these are bloopers. That's what you're going to get. But let me like, share, and subscribe. Have a blessed day. All right.